Good morning, everyone. As Deb and I were talking about listening to your body, we started thinking about how many meals people eat each day. And is it just a habit that you eat 3 meals a day, or are you truly hungry? And it's fine if you really are hungry, but sometimes we've found that with our eating, it's more of a habit. You get up in the morning and at 7 a.m. you have breakfast, at noon you have lunch, and dinner's at 6. And maybe a snack after dinner, like as you're sitting there, watching TV or whatever, maybe there's a snack around 8. But if we listen to when we're actually hungry, truly, truly hungry, like I said, yeah, a lot of times I will eat breakfast, but I have started to realize after reading Jen Miller's book on Jen Miller, is that right?
Oh, Jen Stevens.
Jen Stevens.
Delay, don't deny.
Yeah, Jen Miller is a aerobics instructor that I followed years ago. So yeah, Jen Stevens, Delay, don't deny. When I read her book and started, realizing just to delay. It's truly not that we're not having something, but delay it a little bit. I realized that I'm not always as hungry as I thought I was when I woke up in the morning. So sometimes I can delay it a little bit longer and keep that overnight fasting going just a little. And if I have breakfast at 10 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock, I'm definitely not hungry for lunch at noon. And then paying attention to what we are eating at that time. It's probably not a piece of toast or a bowl of cereal. It's something with more substance that most likely has some protein and some veggies, and that's going to hold me over a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking back when I was working 2 jobs and I was eating so much, and I was teaching. Well, I was assisting in a classroom after I retired, but I had to leave early, so I was eating a hard-boiled egg and a V8 at 6 o'clock, which sounds horrible to me now, but I did it because I thought, well, I have to eat because I have to eat breakfast, and I'm going to be in a classroom, so I'm not going to be able to eat after this. And then I would sometimes we even have a snack in the teacher's lounge, and then lunch. And then I was going to my next job. So I'm like, well, I better eat because I'm not gonna be able to eat dinner until 8 o'clock when I'm done with this, and I'm going to get hungry. And so I remember eating in the parking lot between jobs, and I don't even think I was hungry sometimes, but I just felt like I should. And then I was eating dinner at 8 o'clock at night. And so no wonder, I mean, I was it's a 10-hour break from eating, and I gained weight fast, and no wonder. Like, I just felt like I should be eating all those times. I'm not going to eat. And Jen talks about that in her book too. Like, we're not going to starve. We get this fear, like, if I don't eat now, I might not get to eat until, 4 hours from now. That's okay. Our bodies appreciate that break. We're not going to starve. So there is a fear around, I better eat now, or I'm not going to be able to later until, hours from now. That's okay. I learned a lot from her book.
Yeah, I used to pre-eat. I knew that my shift, I think I worked a 4 to 9 shift at one point. So, I had lunch, but I had to pre-eat because I was like over dinner time. I was going to be working, right? 4 to 9 is over dinner. So you're not going to, that's 5 hours. I think. And I truly was hungry then by the time I came home. So not only did I eat before, I ate a lot because I wanted to make sure that it helped me. And I've said before, I love to eat, and I've always eaten a lot. So yeah, that pre-meal was big. And I'm not even sure I didn't have breakfast and lunch before I had that pre-meal. And I'm sure I ate when I got home.
That's funny.
I'm sure I did. But that was my mindset. And you're right, it's a lunch. Because I remember even when I worked at the apartment complex, my shift was 11 to 3. And I remember being asked, like, oh, when are you going to have lunch? And I'm like, oh, and at that point I started to change my eating a little bit. So I was like, I'll just have my meal. And then it turned out that breakfast and lunch was before I went. And then by the time I got home at 3, that's when I would have my carrots. So I didn't have to have breakfast and then pre-eat lunch. At one point, I was taking a shake with me for lunch so that I didn't get, and I was like, I'm not hungry for this.
Mhm.
So I stopped doing it. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm fine. By the time I get home at 3, I got my carrots. I'm good.
And I think your carrots and hummus are a good point because you mentioned that before. You don't need a whole meal sometimes. Just need a little snack to fill your tummy a bit till your next meal. It doesn't have to be a meal. It doesn't have to be crazy. Yeah. But find something filling so your carrots and hummus fill you. Like I used to come home and I just wanted chips. It's not filling in my body was still like, well, I still feel like I didn't eat because I didn't feed it anything nourishing. So the carrots and hummus are perfect. For my go-to is an apple and some almonds. So it's kind of the same thing.
It is.
Or even just a spoonful of peanut butter. I love peanut butter. So it doesn't have to be
or even a hard-boiled egg, something that it has substance to it. You're right. The chips, the pretzels, the whatever that we're craving because we want something fast, just they leave our body going, okay, I still need to eat. I'm hungry.
Right. We didn't nourish ourselves. So yeah. Yep. So what's your go-to snack? What are your thoughts?
If you need some hints, let us know.
Yeah. Because it is hard. It's that mindset again, where we grew up with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we just feel like, well, that's how we have to eat to nourish ourselves and not necessarily.
Yeah.
And a snack after school and a snack at night. And,
And really, when our ancestors were eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they were physically active, like burning that off all day long. They needed a hearty breakfast before they went to tend to the farm or walk 3 miles to get some groceries or to get to school. Or, so they were doing all of that. We don't have that. So we're not really using those calories to make us hungry at that point.
Right. Right. They were more active. And they also, even before that, they didn't know where their next meal was coming from sometimes if they had to hunt and gather. So they were eating a lot because it may have to sustain them for months.
Right.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of food available.
Exactly.
So,
all right, everybody, have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.